Okay, what we have here is question 28D of the 2015 CSSA General Maths trial paper. It's a financial mathematics question, which I guess traditionally causes a little bit of angst. And what I'm going to hope to do here is show you how straightforward these actually are. Especially now that you don't have to use that long-winded formula, you can just use tables. Now the trick here is understanding how to use the table and making sure that scenario provided, the information of the scenario provided, matches up with the information on the table. So it says below is a table representing present value interest factors. So it's actually telling you straight away it's a present value question. Now, just before we go on to the question, just something to note. Let's just pretend it doesn't tell you its present value and it's not telling you the present value in the table here, and they just give you the scenario. I guess what I want to look at here is how would you know by looking at this particular scenario that what we're referring to is a present value situation. It says Mel wants to take out a loan, that is crucial, for $7,400. The bank is offering her a 3-year repayment plan with interest being charged at 8.4% per annum. Now, like I say, let's pretend we don't know it's a present value question. And let's look at how do we determine if it's present value. Now, the fact that it's a loan, it's present value. That's how you know. Because a loan, obviously, of $7,400 isn't going to be what's paid in the future. Because obviously in the future, there's going to be interest added and all the rest of it. So what's paid in the future will be the future value. This initial loan that the person is borrowing is the present value. So a loan basically means present value. So let's tackle this question. So Mel wants to take out a loan of $7,500. Okay, we know that's important, and that is the present value. The bank is offering her a 3-year repayment plan with interest being charged at 8.4% per annum. Okay, so it says use the table to find the monthly repayments for Mel's loan. Now straight away you need to take a breath and have a look at this. They're talking about monthly repayments, but what we're talking about here is a 3-year repayment plan. So obviously this is not matching up. Okay, so if the 3-year repayment is not matching up with the monthly repayments, that obviously means that there's going to be some sort of conversion required. Now if you look at your table, the information provided in your table, you can see that the interest rates provided don't follow the yearly per annum sort of pattern. So, and if you look at the time periods, they're clearly not in years either. So what's obviously happened here, which you need to identify straight away before you try and do anything, is you need to identify the fact that, and recognize the fact that what we're dealing with here are monthly time periods. That N represents the monthly time periods. Okay, so if that's the time period monthly, that means the interest rate is monthly. So before you do anything, you've got to make the conversion. Okay, so 8.4% per annum. We'll convert, so 0.084 divided by 12 will give you 0.007. Okay, so that is per month, the rate per month. Now 3 years obviously translates to 3 times 12, which is 36. So 36 time periods at 0.07. So all you've got to do now, before you think about any calculation, is find where on the table, what interest factor relates to this scenario. So clearly 0.07, we're talking about this column here. 36 time periods, we're talking about this row here. So all you've got to do at this point is find what present value interest factor we're dealing with. And column and row intersect on this cell with 31.72466. Now that is your present value interest factor. This alleviates the need to use that long-winded formula. The table's done it for you. Okay, now what you do know is present value is calculated by multiplying the monthly repayments by the present value interest factor. So we have the present value, which is 7,400. We need to find the monthly repayments, and we know what the interest factor, the present value interest factor is now. We know it's 31.72466. Okay, so basically what you've created, now the financial maths bit is gone now, because what you've created now is a simple algebraic equation that you can solve for n. So interest factor is connected by multiplication, so obviously you've got to divide to cancel it out, to get n by itself. What you do to one side, you've got to do to the other side. 7, 2, 4, 6, 6. That cancels out. So therefore the monthly repayments will be, when you plug it into your calculator, $233.26. And that's it. That's part one, done, an easy mark. Now, part two, this is, I guess, classic general maths type question in the fact that they give you almost like a story that you've got to dissect. And you're going to come across this sort of thing, but what you need to understand is only look at what's relevant. So have a read of it first, and then you can just disregard what's not relevant, so you're not reading over and over again. So it says, after re-evaluating her monthly spending habits, Mel determines that she will be able to afford an additional $35 each month. Okay, so she reckons she can add another $35 on top of what she's paying here per month. She is hoping that this will mean that she can repay the loan in 2.5 years instead of 3. Okay, so she's calculating this extra $35 on top of what she's paying per month based on a 3-year plan. Now the question is, will Mel be able to pay the loan in full in 2.5 years? Support your answer with appropriate calculations based on information in the table. Well, of course you're going to do that. You don't need to reread that again. Okay, so very long-winded. Question is, what do you need to do? Some of you are looking at this and think, how do I start this? Well, the fact that it's got 2 marks will suggest that there's probably 2 more steps to it. So that's what you need to do, is just break it down into simple steps. The main question is, will she be able to pay the loan in full in 2.5 years? Well, the only way you can work that out is if you know what her monthly repayment would be for a 2.5-year plan. Now what you do know is for a 3-year plan, and what you don't know is what the 2.5-year plan monthly repayment would be. So basically what that means is you've got to work it out for 2.5 years. What will be the monthly repayments for 2.5 years? Okay, so you do exactly the same thing. The present value is found by multiplying the monthly repayment by the present value interest factor. You know what the present value is. The present value is $7,400. You know you need to find the monthly repayment. What you don't know is, at this stage, which you can find, however, is what this present value interest factor is, because the circumstances have changed here for 2.5 years. Clearly, 8.4% per annum when converted per month is still 0.07. So you're still looking down this column, okay, to find your present value interest factor. But what has changed is the time period. So 2.5 years, oops, you can't see that. Yeah, 2.5 years equates to 30 months, because it's 24 months plus 6 months, which makes 30 months. So that means to find what the present value interest factor you need, you go to the 30, the row of 30, and you go across, and there it is. That's the interest factor that you need. So 26.97465. Okay, you go through exactly the same process again. You divide by what's connected to the monthly repayment multiplication. So you divide it to cancel it out. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. Okay, that's gone. So therefore, the monthly repayment, if it was a 2.5-year plan, and you plug it into your calculator, it works out to be $274.33. Now, that's not the question done, because all you've worked out here is how much you'd have to pay for 2.5 years. Now, you still got to answer the question, will she be able to, or will she not be able to, fulfill that monthly repayment if she adds $35 extra on top of that? Well, all you've got to do now is check the difference. You can do 2 things. You can add $35 to that to see if it makes the 274, okay? Or you could either subtract the 274 by this amount to see if it's less than $35. So when I do that, so 274.33 minus 233.26, that gives me a value of $41.07. So basically, what that's telling you is, if she wants to pay the loan off in 2.5 years, she's going to need an extra $41.07 on top of this amount in order to make that happen. Now, she's only got $35 extra, so basically the answer is no. And you've got to state that. Don't just leave numbers there. They've asked you a question, you've got to answer it in a sentence. So a simple statement like, no, she will not be able to repay the loan in 2.5 years with an extra $35, and that's it. That's the question done. But whatever you do, don't just leave it like that without the sentence. You've got to answer the question in a sentence. So even though you've done the maths and you've got the numbers there, you've got to put that together and make a statement. Okay? And that's that. That's the present value. I think that's pretty straightforward, and I hope you guys have learnt something from that.